Yo, what's up? Back at it once again, a Koski, a fun day, kicking it for you and for yours. And, before I get into this, I'll give love, show love to my ancestors, you know what I'm saying, for giving me the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And also, I got to show love to y'all for paying attention to listening, the subscriber list is going up, much love to that, you know what I mean, in different areas. So, I'm very grateful, very happy that I'm doing what I'm happily doing. Now, this one comes from Reason Magazine. As it shows right here, it says, former Congressional Black Caucus chair who voted for the 1994 crime bill tried to cover up his role. Now, this is written in 2015, but I think it's still relevant today because, we know one of the people that's running for president had to play a major role in that, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Cosme Afuma had boasted the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, put its stamp on a bill, the largest crime bill in U.S. history, which provided new cops in prisons. Representative whose congressional district included Baltimore and was the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus in the 103rd Congress is trying to disown his and the CBC role and push the 1994 crime bill. The 1994 crime bill was the largest crime bill in U.S. history. It added 100,000 new police officers around the country and committed $10 billion in building new prisons. The ban also included an assault weapons ban to entice Democrats to vote and a midnight basketball provision that turned off some Republicans who might otherwise be all over the law and order bill like that. The bill passed 235 to 195. With most Democrats voting in favor and most Republicans voting against it. President Clinton happily signed the bill into law. Now, some supporters of that bill, instead of acknowledging they was involving of an issue being blindly pro-police, are trying to rewrite history of how the bill was passed a Democratic-controlled Congress and was signed into law by a Democratic president. MSNBC's Chris Hayes asked Batum about the 1994 crime bill. Hayes, did you vote the wrong way on the crime bill in 1994? Batum, here's the thing about the crime bill in 1994. There was no vote. It was a voice vote. You didn't have to be there. It was all in favor, aye, all opposed, no. And that's how it passed. Well, actually, there was a roll call vote to agree to the conference report. That vote should have been researched and packaged. Hayes' producer prepared for him. Here it is. So this right here, this link right here, shows the roll call where they had to say yes or no. And you can go down that list right there and see who voted for this crime bill. Batum and the entire leadership of the Congressional Black Caucus of the 103rd Congress voted for it. Batum insists widespread support for the bill was only assumed. Continuing from the interview. Hayes, and that's how uncontroversial the idea was. More cops, 3 strikes. Batum, 41 new categories for the death penalty, an increased amount of money for prisons, and 3 crowns a month for money for prevention. Hayes, and that was unanimous? It's just unanimously held opinions across both parties. Batum, well, when you have a vote and we all say a favor aye, and all those opposed no, and there's no roll call, you sort of sweep it under the rug and assume that everybody's supporting it. Hayes, the law and order politics that has given us mass incarceration, and many people will point to Nixon, and particularly the Watts riots and the riots after King that happened near Baltimore in 1968 and Detroit and other places as the starting point of that, right? Batum, 1994 was a big milestone on the path that might have started in 1968. The CBC leadership wasn't a passive supporter of the crime bill. The Baltimore Sun quotes Batum as saying the CBC wasn't doing Clinton a favor by voting for it, but had put our stamp on a bill because in addition to the surge in police officers in prisons, which would disproportionately affect poor, young, and black people, there was an assault weapon ban on a limited automatic life sentence for repeat offenders. In 2007, when a white representative tried to join the CBC, Representative William L. Clay, the L stands for Lacey Jr., a Democrat in Missouri, insisted the caucus was primarily concerned with the needs and concerns of the black population. I wish. Clay later went on to vote against the amendment that would limit the amount of military gear sent to the local police officers just a couple months before the militarized police were deployed around Ferguson. So he said it was for the population of black people, but then again, he voted against the amendment that would limit the military gear sent to local police, which was used in his state against black people in Ferguson, which is just part of the district Clay represents. 7 out of 41 CBC members voted in favor of limiting police militarization. Back in 1994, only 12 out of 38 CBC members voted against the crime bill, includes Representative John Lewis and John Connors of Michigan, both who voted to limit the police militarization. So there you have it. The Congressional Black Caucus, which is not really for black people, got paid off to support this bill and got their pockets laced, for other stuff, for their little, what they call it, for their little funding, for their little PAT projects and stuff like that. They wanted to get done. So that's what happened with them. And they sent the rest of the black population that they knew it was going to affect. They said, go fuck yourself. And that's how they decided to get down. The leadership is bad. As the dude said, he didn't want, which is good in my opinion, he didn't want one white representative to come on down. But when it came out, he said, we would do this stuff for black people. But when it came down to stopping the military funding of the police and giving all the old military gear for the military, the U.S. Army and places like that, they said, well, here you go. And that's what it is. Anywho, this is a Koski of Fun Day. We up here doing African history like this for you and for yours. Hopefully y'all look into that link too that shows who said yes and who said no to the crime bill. And some of them cats are still in wrong comments right now. Anyway, much love to you and yours. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.